Hello, welcome to Stampin' by Hannah today. So sorry, I don't know what is going on with my camera setup, but anyway, I'm going to roll with it today. Something's happened and I can't work out what it is. But anyway, I am an independent Stampin'. Oh, shall we start again? Welcome to Stampin' by Hannah. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. I'm based in the UK, and I stamp here on YouTube, and you can also find me over on Instagram and my blog, all of which is Stampin' by Hannah. Today, I am playing with the watch is gone off. With the Timeless Arrangements bundle. So that is the stamps and the dies. I love this. I have had a bit of a play with it already, but I have been inspired by one of the products in the catalogue. So I'm going to show you it and see where it takes me. So this is the bundle on page 67 of the Stampin' Up annual catalogue for this year. If you live in the UK and you haven't got a copy, I still have some in my craft room, so if you'd like one, do let me know. And yeah, so on page 67, we have got this bundle. It's beautiful. And as always, Stampin' Up do some amazing things with inspiration. So think of the catalogue as it's not just a catalogue, it's inspiration. It's a jumping off point for you. Like an idea book. And they did used to call it an idea book way, many moons ago. And I don't know why they dropped it, to be honest, I think it's a brilliant idea. But anyway, who am I to say? So I have been inspired by this, which I think is actually a box. But we're gonna move a little bit. I'm gonna make it into a card. Because I just thought it was really fun. It was a really nice idea and lots of layers, which I'm really enjoying at the moment. But you've got the stamps, the stamp set here. And there is the dies. And right at the bottom, you can just about see the dies. And that's the biggest picture you get. And it's not very big. But if you go to the very back, you can find either in alphabetical order, all of the dies, slightly bigger, and another inspiration card. So I've taken this as inspiration and this because for this sort of a layout, I'm going to sneeze. But I'm going to use this piece of designer scissors paper. This is from Masterfully Made, which is just beautiful. Let me show you it in the catalogue because I can't get it out of the packet. What page is it? So here, it's on page... Oh, it doesn't... No, the suite is on page 102. So this is the designer scissors paper, but it coordinates with a whole suite, which I haven't got yet. Going to have, which is this one, and it's just beautiful. But it's that there's a piece on the Stampin' Up Instagram page about how they made this paper, and it is like all layered together, and you've still got that really layered effect, which is so fun. Not using that side of the paper today. Gonna stick with this pretty floral, but I have jumped ahead a little bit, and I've done some die cutting already to kind of create these leaves. So this is an odd stamp set, or die set, because the dies cut out lots, like these really pretty leaves, and they're all joined together with this strip. Now, this makes me happy, because I don't have to fiddle about with a load of bit of dye that I'm going to hide with something else. So I'm going to cover all of that up with another die cut, which will be my sentiment, actually. So I've done 2 of these. This one that's Grey Granite. I've got 2 in Pool Party. I've got 2 in Pretty Peacock. And I've got 2 in Moody Mauve. And I've got my paper. This is actually Fresh Freesia. So my colour combination looks a little bit like that, which I think is lovely. I'm really liking it. The Fresh Freesia is quite a bright pop against the rest of them, but I think that works. So I've got a card base of Moody Mauve and a piece of basic white and my scrap of Masterfully Made, because I do love the other side, but I'm going to restrain myself to use this, again, which is just as pretty. And then I need this die for my sentiment, and then we're going to do a bit of stamping and then die cut some of those images as well, as kind of to layer things up a little bit. So, first off, let's get some stamping done. So I want some leaves and some flowers. Like so. I'm going to actually open the catalogue again. I've closed it, which is silly, because it's like inspiration and I've shut the flipping book. There we go. So, Shocking. It is shocking. Right, my brain today isn't working all that well. I've been on night shifts this past week. And so my brain doesn't work very well when coming off night shift. But also, I've had a coffee. So I'm caffeinated, which is never ever a good thing. And so yeah, things are just, there's just a lot going on in my head. We are away on a holiday. We go on Monday. Which I'm very excited about, but there's also all of that stress going through my brain about, packing, have we got enough pants washed, what's the weather going to do, because we are holidaying in the UK, and if you are in the UK at the moment, you will know the weather is, how to describe it? Utterly rubbish, I think is the way to describe it at the moment. So I'm hoping that next week, in my tent, things might get a little bit better. So I think we'll go with the same sentiment, which is this one, which says, hope your day is filled with everything good, which I love. I know I need a scrap of Moody Mauve for that one. I'm going to do all my stamping together, because while I'm stamping, I might as well stamp everything. Now I'm going to do something that I don't do very often. Normally, I would go, stamping on coloured cardstock. That means I need to heat emboss it in white, because that's how my brain works. I'm not going to. I'm going to stamp Moody Mauve onto Moody Mauve. So we're going to do tone on tone. Like that. It shows up perfectly well. It's beautiful. Just something I don't do ever. Ever. Then, what Stampin' Up have done is they have coloured these with blends. So I do need a couple of blends out. I've got Pool Party, and I have got Moody Mauve. I don't have Grey Granite, but I do have Smoky Slate, which will do for now. And I don't have Pretty Peacock, but I think that'll be okay. So let's just colour some of these images in a little bit. I'm not going to do anything fussy really at all. I'm going to colour, let me think. Let's do the leaves in the grey. They are stamped in Grey Granite, so this might look a little bit strange. But I think this is going to work. And I'm using the brush end. I'm not going to do any complicated blending, I don't think. On here, I'm going to keep it kind of flat colour, because they're not massive images. It doesn't really need anything too complicated, because there's quite a lot going on in this card already that we don't need to add lots of layers of stuff. I probably will, with the flower elements, do a little bit of blending. But for the leaves, I'm not going to bother. I'm going to turn this over a second. Just going to get the leaves on the flowers themselves as well. Had a panic then that I wasn't filming. I am, it's fine. Light Pool Party. And we're just going to hit all of the, I suppose they're almost like seed head. They could be a flower. They could be floral, couldn't they? I'm not very horticultural. I'm trying. Keep planting things in the garden. I'm basically just hoping that they grow, because, yeah, my garden isn't going very well. We planted pumpkins. We had pumpkins last year, and they grew really well. They were great. This year, yeah, I don't know what's gone on. It's been a bit of a disaster. I've killed things in pots this year. I tried to grow some strawberries and some peas. They drowned. I grew a lot of moss. I'm just not very good with plants, apparently. Oh, I need to get better. I feel the need. I think something happens, isn't there, that you hit kind of 30, 35 and go, must be a gardener. Sit and watch Gardener's World and think, yes, I could grow that, and then fail miserably. you know, it's like you watch, or at least I do, I watch Chelsea Flower Show and think, oh, I could do that. I could recreate all of that in my garden. No, Hannah, you couldn't, because you'd kill it all. But never mind. I will stick for now with stamped flowers, I think. So this is light Moody Mauve. We're going to go all over the flowers like that. And then I'm going to add a bit of dark in at the bottom. So I'm going to use I've been using the brush tip. I'm going to use the bullet end. So you've got two ends to each pen. You've got a brush end and a bullet end. And you can tell which way is which because you've got a fat stripe for the brush and a thin stripe for the bullet. And I'm just going to literally just add some swipe up, like it's like I'm on Instagram. Some little lines at the bottom just to add a little bit of texture and dimension. There we go. And that will blend back naturally itself because it's quite wet. So get rid of all of those. And then I just need to get things die cut. So I'm going to just chop these in half. I'm going to grab my mini cut and emboss machine today. So I need things quite slim to fit through because it's only a couple of inches wide. So I'm going to move all these other bits and pieces out of the way for a second. And I'm going to just roughly cut this out so that I know that it's going to fit through the machine, because I know that piece is going to be too big. So let's work out which dies they are. Got that one for my sentiment, and then that one's the flowers. Oh, that one's the leaves. Oh, and that one there. And then I think I'm going to add a couple of white ones of those as well, just because I can. So, mini cut and emboss machine is adorably cute. Comes with all the instructions on the plate and all the plates that you will possibly need. So for this, because it's thin dies, I want plate number 1, a plate number 2, two plate number 2s. So I think if I die cut all of this, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so while I was die cutting, I also managed to work out what was on my camera, and I managed to zoom out past 0, which I just can't ever work out. But anyway, so we've done some die cutting. I have now die cut all of the adorable little pieces. Like this stamp and die set is a bit fiddly because everything's quite little, but they are so beautiful. I mean, look at these. They're just gorgeous little die cut pieces. Focus. Focus. Gonna focus? Is it gonna focus? Sort of. So that is, I mean, they're just so delicate. And because they're so delicate, they do tend to warp a little bit. But actually, I think I like that look on the front of a card. I like it when they're a little bit warped and a little bit, it adds something. It's not a flat card then. So we've got a lot of die cut pieces. I'm going to start assembling. So first thing is to fold this card in half and burnish it really well with my bone folder. And I'm going to add on the layer of basic white. And I was thinking, because in the background of the original, they have done a bit of stamping, but I've got the designer Swiss paper instead. So I'm going to leave it, I think. And then I thought, do I stamp onto the DSP? And I think I do. I think that I do. So let's just do that. All right, so we've got I love this. It's a really cute little, like, just one of those little images that's really handy for in the background of things. So I'm going to take some fresh freesia ink and stamp over. So you've already got leaves on here that sort of mimic what you've got already, I'm just another layer on the top, just to add something a bit extra. Because this is going to be one of those cards that is just a little bit extra. So that paper is then going to go, oh yeah, no, let's leave it. I'm like, do I stamp the background? No, I don't. Leave it. Right, then we just need to see where that sentiment's going to go. And I am going to take a pencil to my project at this point. I'm going to make it, it's going to move it slightly down and slightly over, just to make some marks so we sort of know where we're aiming for. Because all of these pieces need to kind of layer around this. So we might cut some of them in half actually as well. Let's do that because some of them are quite long. So with my snips, I'm just going to snip them. So I've got 2 of those. I'm going to snip. So I'm going to snip one and leave one whole, I think, for each. So we've got, oh, and they get stuck together. And then it's really simple because it's just a case of kind of layering everything together. So the first thing I'm going to grab wet glue for this because I'm not a wet glue person, as you all well know. But I think wet glue is sort of necessary here. I'm going to pop this one on first. And you can see now, you see that it layers. So you've just got, you kind of put it up to the corner. So that's it, the back. And then you've got that, and it just sticks out the side, and it just looks lush. I'll pop that one down in that. I probably should move my card out of the way so I don't end up with wet glue on it. Like so. And by building it up on the back of the die cut, you can then sort of see exactly how you want. Like, I'm not risking things being lost behind it. So I'm going to use the Pretty Peacock piece next. Oh, I said it is fiddly. Now I've got glue on my fingers, which is why I don't use wet glue, because I get it everywhere. There, see, all over my thumb. Let's have a bit of that one. Yeah, this is like ultimate concentration as well. You get really, really lost in making sure that everything's on camera for a start. You get really lost in concentrating on getting all the pieces in the right place. And yeah, this is like proper, this feels like proper crafting to me, where you're kind of sticking all the pieces together like a great big jigsaw puzzle. And then let's have the, what colour is this? Grey granite behind there. And you can see it building and layering up now, and it is just starting to look really, really pretty. Now then, that piece is designed to go, ooh, that's it. Oh, that wibbled a bit. Let's wibble it back. Can I wibble it back? It's all right, it's fine. So it would be designed to sit that way, but I'm actually going to sit it there. Oh, she says, before she drops it all over the place. And this is the sort of crafting that I really struggle to craft and talk. because you kind of have to concentrate, or at least I have to concentrate. I'm trying to get all the pieces right. So, like, oh, and then the Mr. I keep wanting to call it Misty Moonlight. It is not Misty Moonlight. It is definitely Moody Mauve. It's going to go on the very back. Like so. And I can see now exactly where these pieces need to be from the other side. So, ooh, look at that. Oh, it's so beautiful. So that's going to go on there. And then I've got these stamped pieces. You're going to go, oh no, you're going to put the stamped pieces on. Don't panic. So I've got some dimensionals. I'm going to pop this whole thing up on dimensionals because you've got layers and layers of cardstock. It's much easier to put loads of dimensionals behind it, and then it will all, it's not as, yeah, it's just easier to put it on dimensionals, I think, than try and stick it down in a more traditional fashion. So, oh, before I do that, the inspiration piece also has some ribbon on it, doesn't it? This is the textured ribbon in Moody Mauve, and I'm just going to layer it across the back, kind of like that. So I want a big strip of adhesive down the middle, and then we're just going to layer it over and kind of zigzag it down the card. And I love doing this. One of those things that you look at and go, what on earth are you doing? Because it looks a mess. And then you put whatever you're putting in front of it, and suddenly it like all looks right in the world again. So I'll do that and put that there, and see, everything looks all right in the world again. But we now just need to pop our stamped pieces in. So, bit of wet glue on the back, then we can really carefully feed them. She says. You can tell I haven't made this card before. You can tell there wasn't a prototype. This is live stamping in my craft room. How stamping in my craft room usually goes. So I hope you've enjoyed this video today, because I've really enjoyed making this card, but it is not the easiest card in the world to make, I will give you that. Because there's just so much going on. But I really like it. This is way outside of my normal comfort zone. Way, way, way outside my usual comfort zone. I'll poke them kind of through the back. And oh, it's really long as well. This video is about 20 minutes so far, so well done for sticking with me. Because I think that's probably us done. I'm just adding more. You could add and add and add to this forever. You really, really could. So I think it does need a little sparkle though before we call it a day. I'm now just getting glue everywhere. She says, just everywhere. So the original has what I think are in colour dots. Yeah, those in the Moody Mauve colour. So I think we're going to do the same. And I love these. These are great They're really lovely because they're really flat. They're going to post really well if you're in one of those places where posting things with any sort of dimension, although this card is already ribboned and dimensional up to the eyeballs. It's, yeah, they're really flat, so they're great if you do live in one of those places where you struggle with dimensional things in the post. Love those. And that is our card. Look at that. It's so much. There's just so much on there, isn't there? Absolutely lovely. Right, thank you so much for joining me. If you want to see more from me, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Yeah, I hope to see you again really soon. I have a vlog coming for you on Wednesday that I am filming today. So this card will probably make an appearance in that as well because I'm rather proud of it. So thanks for watching. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you again really soon. Bye for now.